Welcome to a very special Match Day Live. Following our incredible 8-1 aggregate win over RB Leipzig, we are in the draw for the quarterfinals of the Champions League again. Indeed, 6 consecutive seasons now we have been at this stage, and I'm telling you, it never gets any easier. The nerves are still going mad in my stomach as we await the draw. So we reckon about 20 minutes roughly until we will know who our opponents are in the quarterfinal, who we have to get past to make that semi-final spot. Now, before I introduce the panel, I just want to quickly tell you about a wonderful competition that we're running today just for all of you that are watching us live. So we are giving away 2 hospitality tickets to the home leg of the quarterfinal. Whoever we draw in the quarterfinal, 2 hospitality tickets to come and see it. And all you have to do, just WhatsApp us. The number is on your screen now. We want to know, who do you want to draw and why? Quite simply, and then we will be pulling a winner out of all the people that send us a WhatsApp. So use the number on your screen now. Who do you want to draw and why? And you could win 2 tickets to the home leg of the quarterfinals of the Champions League in some lovely hospitality. So we are awaiting the draw now. We'll get the quarterfinal draw and then we'll also get the semi-final draw as well. So joining me in the studio to dissect the teams and to discuss who we would like to face, we have Nedum Onuoha, who's joining us. Thank you, because you're a very, very busy schedule these days.
Not
so
really.
We appreciate it.
Not really.
Not really?
No,
Great.
not really, no. I'm mostly here.
We're glad you are mostly here, by the way.
Here, yeah,
you need to camp out, basically, with a tent.
This is true.
And also joined by Stephen McInerney and David Mooney. Morning, gents.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you nervous? I mean, why am I nervous about a draw? Are you nervous, David?
No, I'm not. So I don't get it. I am you get who you get. They're all tough teams.
Okay.
Some are tougher than others, aren't they, let's be honest. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, that sounds like a very media answer, that, doesn't it?
I wasn't really that nervous until I've chatted to you guys for 20 minutes before the show, and now I've got all these memories kind of coming back to me of previous Champions League campaigns, so I'm riddled with anxiety.
There are 3 teams that are not...
horrible. It's horrible.
There are 3 teams that are not in the draw that we can't draw that I'm really happy about. We can't draw Liverpool, can't draw Spurs, can't draw Wigan. There we go. Everything's all right.
Yes, can't draw Wigan. It's always a relief when you can't draw Wigan. Right, Nedum, let's just get into the one big question of the day. Who do you want to draw?
Can I WhatsApp this in? Because I quite like the thought of hospitality, to be honest. I do have to answer like this.
You'll be working, won't you?
Well, I don't know about that.
If he's working, it'll be 0-0, won't it?
No, don't. In fairness, you've made a point there, which I find quite interesting. So are you more of an optimist or a pessimist when it comes down to, say, City?
Optimists, just because I think City are usually better than most teams they play.
In the Champions League, are you the same?
Well, usually we get quite far in it, tend to. So we do tend to win most Champions League games.
Okay.
It gets harder the further you go along.
What are you more nervous about? Being drawn against a team that you should beat?
Just the existence of this competition, man.
To be drawn against a team that you should beat, or drawn against a team that's like one of the favourites, like City?
We've lost either of those categories, so...
Don't let it get in your head.
This is what I'm asking, because it's interesting.
To be honest, I don't know, we've beaten Madrid before, you know, and we've beaten Bayern before in the Champions League. I think we've probably beaten most of these teams before in the Champions League. We have beaten
Stephen, are you noticing how he deflected there, though?
I know, of course.
No, it's just because I was fascinated. I was fascinated by what he said.
I am nervous because there is no room for error, and I'm aware just how much I personally want this as a fan. I'm aware how much this means to the club. I'm aware how much this means to Julia Roberts and Pep Guardiola. You know, and I'm aware how much it means in
come
general.
And visit us, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe she will. It's just it feels like a very big thing, and I think we can't really ignore the elephant in the room here. The Champions League is what this club has been building towards for an awful long time, and the players will be sat there as anxious as we are. I guarantee they'll be wanting to know who they're going to play. So I think this is a very big day. It just is a big day because there are a whole bunch of brilliant historic teams there. We're going to draw one of them, and it's not going to be easy.
Right, no deflecting. None of you are allowed to deflect this question one more time.
I was just trying to look. I'm on this side. I thought I had to connect the guests. Sorry, my bad. I would like to go to Milan.
Oh, so you want the trip? Okay.
Yeah, not necessarily if available. Not necessarily because they're like the weaker sides in the draw. It's just like I feel like from a European standpoint to watch Man City, I don't feel there's that sort of connection there, and it'll feel unique. You know, it'll feel like novel in itself. City versus Inter Milan, City versus
We've
AC
never
Milan.
played Inter Milan, you know.
That's what I mean. But then,
that?
if you did it, you'd be playing against like an Edin Dzeko who's got the history. You know what I mean? Like that could be, that really could be fantastic. I think he was there. He played for City in City's first Champions League game. You know what I mean? Like that's a connection there. So I would like that. But then also some of the other teams, it's great. And again, you know, I was deflecting in some ways. But it's the Champions League, and this is what I think I always have to stress every time I've got a camera in my face or a microphone. The margins are so small at this stage that everybody there is capable of beating anyone. We can have 4 teams who we think are favourites, but then 4 underdogs could all go through.
Yeah, what you have to remember is it's just a cup competition,
Yeah.
but all the teams in it are really good.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's the last 8 of
if you make a
the
mistake,
Champions League. Like this is what it is. But I think the optimist to me is that, you know, City is so good, and when they play to their potential, there's a reason why they're favourites for 99% of the games that they play. And I think if we get a chance to see them sort of play well, I think it'll be fantastic.
Though there are probably a couple of teams there that they wouldn't be favourites for, and they're the ones I'd like to avoid.
OK, so Nedum said Inter, partly for
Inter or AC.
Or Inter or AC.
Listen, the share a stadium.
safe stadium.
He wants to go to Milan for a nice trip. Right,
Yes.
no deflecting. Stephen?
I'm very aware of not trying to patronise sides, you know, because but there is
He's about to do it. He's
statistically
gonna do it.
speaking, there are sides that are more likely to win it according to, you know, projections and so on, and the ones that are less likely to. I would rather play good teams than get the great teams at the very end. And to me, I would look at, you know, Benfica. Like I want Benfica because I feel like City have a good record, you know, of getting through those kind of games at this stage of competition. No, we don't. We're on about Leon and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'd rather like Bayern play Real Madrid, the Milan teams play each other, and Napoli play Chelsea. You know, let some of the heavier hitters go out first.
Yes,
I'm old school
I like
that way.
that.
I like that idea. It's more reassuring to me. But at the same time, I understand it. If we get Real Madrid, bring them.
No thanks. David?
I'd say Real Madrid, you know.
No.
I really would.
What are you, glutton for punishment?
No, I get it, but like, there's unfinished business there. They've beaten Real Madrid over 2 legs in the past. They know they can do it, and you look at the way that the Champions League runs have gone for City in the past. Those big ties like that come down to the fine margins. Like those are the best nights. That home leg here last season was a fantastic night.
Do you know what I love? A 7-0 win in the last 16. They're the best nights for me. A bit easy, you know?
Well, before we go ahead and talk about a 7-0 win, which we are going to do in a second, just a little say thank you to everybody that's in the comments. You're all putting in the teams that you would like, and there's nobody standing out. There is a massive split across all of the teams from the comments that we're getting right now, which I think
that's because they're all really good.
They're all really good. Yes, absolutely. We are joined as well by some special guests on our fan wall today. We're going to be getting their opinions as well. We've got Big Steve, we've got FG, we've got Sarah, and we've got Daps. Give us a wave, guys. We'll be coming to you all very soon, finding out who you want to draw as well. FG continues to just live his best life.
I can't take FG seriously, you know. Honestly, there's something about I can't look at him. I'm going to look away.
We'll find out in a second as well who they want to draw. Now, we will let you know as soon as the draw starts, so stick with us here. We're going to give you the full draw, and as they're drawing them, we'll be giving you our opinions on the teams as well. But of course, let's just have a little think about how we got here. So it was Tuesday night. What a spectacular night. Nedum was here with a different large TV organiser working very hard, representing Nedum, representing.
No such thing.
Now, before we do this, I just want to give you all a little bit inside info, and this might be inside info for you all as well. UEFA only allow clubs 90 seconds worth of footage from each Champions League game. So we're allowed to share 90 seconds with you. That might have been all right if we hadn't have scored 7 goals.
Get it
of
double
course,
speed.
Let's go. Here is 90 seconds of City's 7-0 victory on Tuesday night. Of course, the first one starts with a penalty, which means we've had to eat up some of our 90 seconds showing you the penalty. Nedum, was it harsh?
Yeah, it's very harsh. I don't think he even knew that he touched his arm, so if you get a penalty against you like that, then yeah. But I think it's what City deserved overall for their start, but that does feel like a robbery.
It's a good 20-odd seconds here already.
The very fact that Rodri didn't know that was handball.
Yeah, exactly. The defender didn't know it was handball, so yeah, there you go.
But you'll take it, right?
Yeah, we'll take it. Over the years, we've had some dodgy things against us in the Champions League, in my opinion, so I would take it, even though I thought it was harsh too.
What a brilliant header, by the way.
Yeah.
His reactions are
Air
so
Jordan
sharp.
there, wasn't it? He flew.
19 seconds later, wasn't it?
And then another one. Poor Ruben.
What a finish. What a
It wasn't
finish.
you, Ruben.
Needs to head it better, doesn't he?
Yeah, sorry, Ruben. Okay, so on to number 4 here. So we are having to rattle through them.
Beautiful goal.
Oh, Ilkay. I don't want that goal to ever get forgotten.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame we couldn't see the bit from Edison at the start, because that was.
We don't have time, David.
Yeah, I know we don't have time. I know.
Right, how many more have we got?
This goal is exactly the same as the next one. He should have just copied and pasted it, really. You didn't want to.
Well, the funny thing about these 2 goals is I was watching from home and I went and put off a few things in the dishwasher, missed them both.
Oh,
Right, well, what you're going to have to do is get yourself onto City Plus, where you can get a full match replay, David. That's what you need to do. And there we go, number 7,
Beautiful.
Kevin De Bruyne. Did we save the best goal for last there, Nedum?
It depends what you're into. I quite like the second goal because it was 20 seconds after the first one, and the aggression to go and win the ball. I love that. But then also that team goal for Gundogan, like, that's top tier. If we had more time, then we'd be able to see how amazing it was. But overall, 7 goals, as he said, it's not too bad in a round of 16, is it?
It's all right.
Too bad
It's all right.
all, eh? I was nervous before the game. There's like a theme here, isn't there? I'm just nervous. Were you, or were you feeling confident?
I was. To be honest, I was pretty relaxed about it. I think we were going to win, you know, and I didn't think we would win 7-0, of course, but you know, the collection of players on the pitch was a very good collection of players on the pitch, and I felt we had another gear to go up from that first leg as well, because as good as Leipzig were in the second half, I felt City, if they'd really pushed on, probably could have scored a couple more in the first leg. So I was pretty relaxed, and proof was in the pudding in the end, I guess. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So, thank you for all your comments coming in. We've already established that Nedum would like a Milan team, Stephen wants Benfica, David fancies Real Madrid. What are you thinking? Right.
What about yourself?
Let's have a look now at who our fans on our fan wall fancy. We're going to start with Big Steve. Good morning, Big Steve. How are you, love?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. You?
I am nervous, Steve. I don't know why. Who do you fancy in today's draw?
Real Madrid. We've got unfinished business there.
There we go.
Let's get it on.
Echo.
Steve, why? Why? What is it literally you just want revenge?
Yeah, I just think we're one of the best sides in the competition. Just get the game out of the way. I love Madrid as a city, and last season was hard to take, so I'm fully up for the revenge mission.
A revenge mission. Okay, do you know what? I would like that, but I still feel slightly traumatised, I think, from our trip to the Bernabeu last year.
No, yeah, it was hard to take, but I'm feeling confident. There's something a little bit different about City this season. I don't think the pressure is as bad as it has been in seasons before. I'm not feeling it like that, and with Big Earl up front, anything can happen. So I'm just excited about the draw. I'm really excited to see who we get.
Okay, let's move on to FG now. So Big Steve wants Real. FG, my man, how are you today?
What a guy.
Hello, everyone. I'm good. Hello, Nedum. Hello, Nat. Hello, everybody.
Right, who do you
How
want?
are you guys? I don't want to go to Madrid. Steve just wants a holiday. I want to play Benfica and avoid Napoli as well. We want all the big teams to play each other.
Speaks sense. You speak sense, mate.
We can worry about it later. Yes, thanks, Steve. Always got my back.
Right, so FG and Stephen want Benfica. I mean, you love an away trip as well, though. That would be a nice place to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go to Milan for the pizza. I don't want to go to Napoli because it's a bit hostile. I've been to Madrid a few times, but yeah, Portugal's nice as well, so why not?
Okay, so you would be okay with Milan so you could get pizza, but the ideal is Benfica because, I mean, we keep saying they're all great teams, but do you think they're the team we've got the best chance of winning?
I mean, it's the Champions League, so you never know, but it would be nice to go through convincingly into the semi-finals with a big win, a big aggregate win, and then face whoever, because we are going to have to face the best teams to win it, so...
All right, FG, thank you. Right, we're going to go to Sarah now. Good morning, Sarah. You've heard what everybody's been saying. Who do you fancy? OK, we've not got you, Sarah. We can't hear you. Are you on mute? Hey, it's the buzzword, isn't it? Are you on mute?
Have you got me now?
Yes, we got you. Right, who do you want, Sarah?
Hi, good morning. So I'm going to play it safe and go for AC Milan, having said which nothing is safe with us. I was kind of thinking I'd like a German team because I'm in Germany. And I think we could take Bayern Munich, but I'm going with the guys and letting them and Real fight it out. That would be my ideal situation.
I love the idea that you would feel confident of us drawing Bayern, though, but you prefer AC Milan. Is that like Nedum for the trip, or is there another reason you'd like AC?
I take the trip, definitely, but Yeah, memories of Leo. I'm not going to say anything's a safe bet, but I feel like I would also maybe feel more confident about facing one of the Milan teams. And yeah, I would take the trip too.
Okay, one of the Milan teams. So basically, we've got one each now. You've each got one. So Daps, you are essentially the deciding vote now. So who do you want?
And don't say
It's
Napoli
good, 'cause
now.
I've got to,
Or Chelsea.
I've got to listen to everyone else and hear everyone's reasons. I'm a bit with everyone. I'm with Nedum as far as, look, I do want to go to Milan. I want to see San Siro before it gets knocked down. I don't want to go Napoli yet. I'd love to see Napoli and Real get each other. So one of those two take the other one out. I think we need another big night to get us ready for the semis. Because I feel like over the years, what we've needed as a fan base is big nights. If you look back at the season we got to the final, we had Bayern and PSG. And that helped us believe. Last year, Atletico, Real Madrid, not so obviously how it ended. So I think a trip to the San Siro to face one of the Milan teams, if I have to pick one of them, I'm going to go for Inter.
Okay, Inter.
But a big trip against an Italian team, another big European night to get the fans believing that little bit more, and then we'll be ready for Real in the semis again.
Daps, I really like that thinking, actually. You're kind of persuading me, actually, to want a perhaps more tough...
You didn't say Real, though.
That's literally what I said about Real Madrid.
I don't want Real Madrid.
You still went down to Milan, you know?
No,
It's not quite.
No,
Yeah.
not...
I think Milan would be a
No,
great trip,
definitely
and I'm
not
with you. I think the atmosphere here would be incredible.
Yeah.
So you're going Inter.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So essentially, we didn't get a decision in the studio then.
I love that no one went for Chelsea, by the way, which I think is very telling, and no one went for Napoli as
Just
well.
try not to mention
You
that.
want Chelsea.
It's not.
But when we're talking of trips, we want to book to go somewhere in Europe. We don't want to
you
have
play
a trip
Chelsea
to Stamford
twice every year
Bridge.
anyway.
Like,
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right, Daps. We want the trip. We want the trip. Right. Thank you. That is our fan wall panel who all said a completely different team. We've all said a different team. Oh no. Did I said Benfica, so I was kind of with you. But now I think Daps is persuading me, you know. I think I'm gonna go, you know what, I think we'll do a Milan sofa. Let's do a Milan sofa. That would be nice. A Milan sofa over here. But who do you want? Keep telling us in the comments. They're massively, massively split at the minute. Now, we are moments away from the first ball being drawn. We will tell you who that is. Remember as well, we are running our competition. You can win 2 tickets to the home leg of the quarterfinal in hospitality. All you have to do is WhatsApp us in, tell us who you want to draw and why. And we'll be drawing that 2 tickets to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. So the draw is nearly starting. Nedum, are you with the lads on the Chelsea front? You're not interested in drawing Chelsea?
Not one bit, no. Not one bit. Like, for me, I don't really have, like, true trauma as such, but trauma is, like, the way Chelsea won the Champions League when they were horrible at this point of the season 2 years ago. You know, so even though a lot of people are writing them off, I wouldn't be surprised if we found a way to do it. I just don't want that.
It's not
Chelsea
even,
have
it's
that
not
history
even
as well,
that.
don't they?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They do have a history, though.
It's not even that. It's just like you're in a European competition. You draw a team from the same country. It's just dull.
You know what? You say that, but I reckon you'd have a different mindset if we had more positive memories of knocking out lots of teams from
the UK.
From the
But-
UK.
but
So-
lads,
Yeah, this literally is not a thing.
Everybody calm. Since that Champions League final where Chelsea beat us, we've beaten them every time we've
Which
played
is,
them.
again, the problem.
We've not conceded.
That's what
the
makes
last
it
5
scary.
meetings,
That's
the
what makes
last
it scary.
5 meetings, and we've not conceded.
Nah, that's what makes it scary, though.
No, that's
It
not
does.
scary for me. It's just boring, I think. It's just boring.
Yeah, I agree.
because and we've already drawn them in the cup as well. It's a boring draw.
Yeah, a European night where you get the train down to London doesn't quite hit the same as, say, a flight to San Siro, to Milan, does it? So.
Yeah.
Get off at Euston.
Right, we think
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
We think the draw is going to be starting any second. So we have our graphic there. Just a little reminder that anybody can draw anybody. There's no country protection. You can draw the teams that were in your group. It is a free-for-all. Everybody can draw everybody. So we do the quarterfinal. We'll let you know they'll do. We're not drawing it. Might be unfair. They're drawing the quarterfinal. After that, they draw the semi-final as well. So we will bring it you all with our instant reaction. So you can see there. We will know what the route to Istanbul will be for City. I told you I was nervous, everybody. I told you I was getting nervous. Nedum, are you getting nervous now, or are you still chilled?
No, I'm mostly chilled, but I'm just having flashbacks because I did a draw this year for the Carabao Cup, and that's the most nervous I've been in the
Did
last few
you?
years. Oh my goodness gracious!
What
mate.
round was that?
That was the one where after City lost to Southampton, I thought I was going to be drawing them out of the thing, getting my home tie, whatever, the warm ball, all that stuff. Obviously not true. But then instead, like, we did a rehearsal before we did it, and I actually dropped the ball. So when the cameras were on, it was proper. Petrified. Absolutely petrified. I had to pick out 2 balls. Breaking it.
What, are they actually heavy? Do you feel like a ping pong ball, or what is it? Are they like quite light?
There's a bit of weight to it.
The one that City's like 9 tons in.
Yeah, it's like a think of like a pool ball.
Okay.
Like
It's
do you know
quite
the yellows?
solid,
Yeah, it's solid. Yeah,
Hefty,
solid.
yeah.
Yeah.
A
Obviously,
unit. It's an absolute unit.
Yeah,
Easy to undo as well. You like that?
No, this was just numbers. This was just numbers, thankfully.
Okay.
But yeah, this is it. Now here we go.
There we go.
Okay, so the draw is starting right now. The first team, they have opened the ball. They are doing the twisty thing.
Oh, no.
They're pulling it out. The first team to come out in the Champions League quarter-final draw for 2023 is
Real
Madrid.
So that's Madrid going to be
They're
away
second. So I wouldn't be that disappointed now.
Away second, though.
Well, no,
No,
City
they'll
were
be
home
second.
second if City came out now.
Yeah.
No, wait, you've confused me. So they're home.
They're home.
They're
home
home
leg.
for the
First leg.
first draw. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I mean, we are sensational at home. The team that will be playing Real Madrid in the quarterfinals of the Champions League are Chelsea.
Oh, that's horrible.
Wow.
I love it.
Bye, Chelsea. So,
Wow.
Real Madrid play Chelsea. That is the first 2 teams out. So what we're not getting there, Stephen, is Real Madrid playing Napoli, which is what we were kind of hoping that they might.
Yeah.
That could be
Or Bayern.
payback for Chelsea as well for last year.
Yeah,
Because
could
they
be.
deserve to get through in that game. I think it was the quarter-final. And then Real Madrid kind of robbed them right at the end. So
There's 2 teams that didn't want
Yes.
there, though, so that's good,
Well,
personally.
Chelsea
And we
might
are,
like that.
and we
might
are
want
going
the
abroad
revenge.
now.
here we go.
Yeah.
Inter. Do you know this is going to say City now? Yeah?
Right, the next
So this
team
would
out.
also be at home
Inter
again.
Milan will be at home for the first game.
Against Man City.
City come out now-
That sees it.
Wait,
That sees
don't
it.
say it.
That's nose. That's nose.
If City come out now, Nedum, pizza's on you.
Oh, I can't look. The
Come on,
team
Patrick.
is
Oh, Benfica.
It's all right. We'll take AC.
Benfica.
We'll take AC.
So
there's...
City
So
are
yours is
either
in the
going to
bin.
draw
Yes.
Napoli,
Yours is in
Mine's
the
in
bin.
Bayern Munich, or
But you edged your
AC
bets.
Milan.
You edged your bets with 2 teams, though.
Right, lads, we've only got 3. Right,
Milan.
Go on, what's up?
you've got
Country.
Napoli,
Yeah.
Bayern, or AC right now.
It's AC. It's AC.
Let's have AC, please. Right, this is AC Milan. Come on.
It's going to be Bayern, Or Napoli, our first ever Champions League game, wasn't it, I think?
Manchester City.
away,
Away,
So
leg.
we are away for the second leg of our quarter-final. That is not ideal because we are phenomenal at home, okay?
cheeky.
But we know we're about to see who our opponents are going to be in the quarter-final. So Manchester City will face in the
shaking.
quarter-final of the
I'm actually
Champions
nervous.
League. Come on, AC Milan. Come on, Patrick Kluivert, do us a favour. Bayern Munich. Why have I just got a little bit sick in my mouth?
away, second leg at Bayern.
The wall, how's
wow.
the wall looking?
Wow.
Goals from João
Sheepish.
Cancelo and
So that's an Italian Napoli AC
Right.
as well.
So we know that it's going to be Napoli versus AC Milan as well. Everybody on the wall, give me a facial expression to describe how you're feeling.
Complete indifference.
Okay, complete indifference. So Manchester City will face Bayern Munich, a Bayern Munich team who has a flawless campaign in this year's Champions League. They have not been beaten. They've conceded 1 goal in all of the games that they've played in the Champions League, in the group stage and the quarter-final. An absolutely flawless campaign from Bayern Munich so far. Are we going to stop them, Stephen?
That's as hard as it gets, really, given form, I reckon. They've got an incredible heritage as well. That's a really, really difficult draw. And the only thing is, I guess the positive is if we beat them, you've got to feel like we can win the whole thing at that point because they are that good. They are that level of good that should give you the confidence then. I am nervous because of the second leg. I do think we can beat them. And I do think that what Steve was saying earlier about how it feels like there's less pressure on this campaign than other years. I do feel that as well, personally. So...
Right, they're doing the semi-final draw. We're going to get into Bayern Munich. We'll get everybody's opinion. Obviously, João Cancelo is allowed to play against City in the Champions League. We'll discuss that in a minute as well. Semi-final draw is taking place right now. The first one out the hat. So quarter-final 4. So that is Napoli or AC Milan. Napoli or Milan will play in the semi-finals, the next ball that comes out? Napoli or AC
Please.
Milan? The next ball coming out.
You want Napoli in the semis?
I don't want Napoli. I'd rather
I
play
don't want
Napoli in the
Real Madrid in the
final.
semis.
Have you seen the other one though?
Quarter-final 2, that is not us.
It's tough,
Inter
that.
or
Real
Benfica
Madrid
will
leg.
play AC or Napoli. Wow, that is a lot of Italian teams.
Deary me.
So we've got to beat.
So that is Italy
Oh, wow.
or
It's
Benfica.
Italy. Wow.
So it's got to be Bayern, then one of Chelsea or Real Madrid to get to the final.
Yeah.
That is horrific.
It's the toughest draw
That
we've
is
got.
horrific. Well done, everyone. You got what you wanted. So.
Are you happy now, David?
I'm not unhappy.
David, I
What's
think
wrong with
for
you?
this.
Let's see which way
You know
the
what you were
leg's
saying
going to be.
before the game? You were like, oh, you don't have
Right,
to
let's
be
just
the best
watch
to get
it, just-
there.
Yeah, but sometimes you do.
You don't always have to, though.
So in the semi-final, the first team that's come out is Real Madrid or Chelsea.
So we would be at home.
Home second leg, yeah.
So the good news there is that if we get to the semi-final, we will be at home in the second leg. So I'm just saying, should we face Real Madrid again, at
Spicy
least
section that.
At
Wow.
least we're flipped this time. So we will be at home in the second leg. So everybody, let us know your WhatsApp thoughts now. Get your messages in. Let us know what you think of the draw. Just to recap, Manchester City will face Bayern Munich in the quarter-final of the Champions League. We will play Bayern Munich away in the second leg. So we'll play them at home, then we'll play them away. If we beat Bayern Munich, when we beat Bayern Munich, we'll go into the semi-final where we'll play either Real Madrid or Chelsea. But we'll play the second leg at home. So that is the Champions League quarter-final and semi-final draw. Now, by the way, as well, I mean, maybe this is a good omen, gents. If we get to the final, we're the home team. So our side of the draw is the home team in the final. I don't really know what that means. I think it's like where you stand and stuff. So, but hey, I'm going to take that as good news. Right, Bayern Munich. I want to do a Bayern Munich focus now because that's the team we know we're definitely playing. Nedum, João Cancelo can play if we play them. What do you make of that?
The fact that he can play or the draw itself?
Or that he will be able to play?
I think it's like a weird rule, but you know, it is what it is. Like, they let him go knowing that we're in the Champions League, so as a consequence, if you do cross paths, then it's something that should be expected. But, you know, City, that's City. And, yeah, that's a very, very spicy draw. But if I could be neutral for a second, that feels like a Champions League draw.
It does.
That side of it is like prime Champions League. I'm not so sure about the other side of it as such, with the sort of like significant Italy sort of lead to potentially get to a final. But City, Bayern Munich, and then potentially like Real Madrid, Chelsea's and whatever, that's prime. That's,
Yeah, if we win it after this, we've earned it.
you'll have a lot of
Really
good memories,
earned it.
yeah. There'll be a lot of very significant
as well in the group
memories,
stages.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Oh, goodness me. So Bayern beat PSG convincingly in the last round as well.
They did.
It's City on PSG, though.
I was going to say, City have beaten PSG a fair bit in the Champions League in recent years.
This version of PSG as well is not anywhere near their best version. I think City will give them more of a game. And at the end of the day, the margins between the two sides is the reason why those are the number one and number two in terms of favourites. Mm-hmm. These are the best sides. So it makes for a fantastic game. And the difference might just be someone taking one chance. And if you want someone to take a chance, who would you rather have on your team?
We've played them 6 times, by the way, and we've had 3 wins, and they've had 3 wins as well. We're going to get the thoughts of the wall now. Right, Big Steve, you've had a couple of minutes for that to settle in there.
Looks
what
rattled.
are you thinking?
No, listen, I'm happy with that. I wanted Madrid. I'll take Bayern. Get Madrid next. Like Dap said before, there's a couple of potential big Champions League nights, and if we get through these 2 next rounds and get to the final, we definitely would have earned it. But I'm not worried about Bayern Munich. I think Bayern Munich will be worried about us. And, bring it on.
You looking forward to maybe seeing Leroy Sané again?
Yeah, Leroy. I think he left a bit before his time. Be good to see him. Don't know about Cancelo playing. That's a bit of a weird one. But no, Big Erling's going back to his old stomping ground, the German team. So, yeah, bring it on. I'm looking forward to it. Just need Daps now to get on his travel agent and get some flights booked when the dates are out.
Love it, love it. Big Steve's already thinking about his flights. Right, FG, how are you feeling? Bayern Munich.
I'm not bad. And it's not as bad as I thought. I mean, we've also got the possibility, if we do get past Bayern, to sort of rectify last time out against Madrid in the semi-final. And, of course, being at home is good. But, yeah, Bayern, it's a bit of a sticky one, but I'm still backing us. I think we'll go toe-to-toe with them.
So Pep's actually never played Bayern in a competitive game, FG. There's so many stories, there's so many narratives around this game. Do you think Pep's going to fancy himself to go back and beat his old club?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all fancy Pep to do it as well, to be honest. If there's anyone to do it, Pep's the man. So, yeah, the Cancelo thing's a little bit weird. A little bit weird to play against him, but you've got to beat the best to win it. So this could be the one.
Are you booking your flights as we speak as well, FG?
Yeah, I need to speak to Daps about what tracksuit he's wearing for the away leg, because I know he likes to spice it up a bit. So I need to check on Daps first. But yeah, I will be.
Right, we'll ask Daps in a second when we get there. We're going to go to Sarah first. Sarah, you are part of our Berlin supporters club and you've drawn a German team. How are you feeling?
I'm actually quite hyped. Half of me really wanted to draw a German team and to play someone here. And I know we're playing the away leg second, but that means I can be there. And yeah, I'm going to really make sure that we're supporting us.
And Erling Haaland going back to Germany, obviously to a league that he had so much success in. Last time we played Bayern Munich, Sergio Aguero got a hat-trick. Do you think maybe Erling Haaland might get a hat-trick?
I think definitely Erling Haaland can always get a hat-trick. And his experience in that league is never going to hurt.
Okay, love that. Thank you. Well, I hope that you and all of your supporters club in Berlin enjoy that trip. Nice trip for you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, Daps, the big question that we all want to know, what tracksuit are you wearing to Bayern Munich?
All will be revealed in Munich. All will be revealed. Steve, you get on the hotels, yeah? You get on the hotels. And FG, make sure you take that pink microphone for Steve, please, because he seems to really be enjoying that pink microphone. So make sure that's there. But as for the game, do you know what? I think I'm happy with it because I think I wanted to avoid Real Madrid and Napoli. They were the two I wanted to avoid. I think with Bayern, we've got a team that we can beat. We've got a team that we can also have a big European moment against. Perfect. Wow. And how are you feeling about all of the sort of stories? Pep going back to Bayern, playing Leroy Sané, on loan João Cancelo can play against us. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the reaction Cancelo gets at the Etihad, It's going to be interesting. I think the main story is going to be Haaland, because I think that's the reason we got him. It's for the European nights. And I think that's why this week, look, beating Leipzig in the last 16, it's not a massive win, but I think Haaland scoring 5 goals in the Champions League is massive, right? Because if you look at the Real Madrid game last season, first leg, some said we didn't manage to make the margin big enough. With Haaland, we will do so. All right. Thank you, Daps. Thank you so much. Thank you to our fans on the wall as well. I loved seeing the kind of thumbs up and the smiles there. Everybody's kind of actually feeling okay, which maybe has surprised me slightly there. I think my confidence levels are actually settling a bit now. I think everyone's persuaded me, Nedum. I think I really fancy the big Champions League night. Yes. Listen, the game against Bayern Munich is obviously going to be that. And, that's a true blessing. I think in some ways as well, it sort of takes off the edge of, potential complacency because you know how tough it's going to be now. I think if it was a game against the Benfica, against an AC Milan, where you know that they're perhaps not, the best of the best in Europe, then maybe there's not a sense of overconfidence as such, but there'll be something, whereas now, you see the path, disrespectfully, I forgot about Chelsea when I was talking about the semi-final as well. Yeah. Real Madrid still have to beat them over 2 legs, but it's tough. And if City do win it, you'll be talking about them beating Bayern in the quarters, talking about beating Real Madrid or whoever in the semis. Nedum can correct me if I'm wrong here, but players live for these games. Yeah. Players live for the big games. You live for an easier game, but a big game. But it's a big game nonetheless. People that want to play in the Champions League want to play in the knockout rounds. They want to have great memories about going to some of the best teams and beating them. But that's the key, is beating them. Because gone are the days whereby a trip to the Allianz Arena is just fun. They're going there for business. They're going there to get stuff done. And if they don't win there, then there'll be a sense of disappointment as opposed to celebrating the journey like probably we did 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean? That's ultimately the difference in this situation. So our director of football, Cheeky Bergerstein, is out in Lyon for the draw, and we've just caught up with him. Here's his thoughts about the quarter-final draw. You have a strong game against Bayern Munich, isn't it? Very, very strong, of course. One of the
candidates. Also, you can see what they have done. No, I mean, they beat one of the candidates with PSG. No, so very strong team, very solid. So it's going to be very difficult, but also I guess that we are going to be also difficult for them. So anytime it's going to be a tough, a wonderful game because two good coaches, a lot of good players there on the pitch, and the proposals of both coaches and clubs are a good one. So I can see a big show of football.
Right. You had, everybody saw that the performance on Manchester City last time against Leipzig, 7 goals. So how do you evaluate the level of Manchester City this year?
We are okay. We are fighting in all competitions. We are ready to go for them, and I think we have been the last games. We are more solid. We are creating chances. So we are in a good mood now. The only thing, of course, the opponents are there, and the opponent also is a big one. So just ready for the fight.
Give us a final thought. So you will make it to the semi-final?
We hope we are confident. We want to get that consistency also in this competition, the Champions League, and so it means that we have to go through. Of course, we are going to respect always Bayern Munich.
Thank you.
That's our Director of Football, Cheeky Bergerstein, out in Lyon for the draw, where we have learned that Manchester City will play Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals. Now, indulge us for a minute. We're just going to pretend that game is done and that it is won, and we move on to the semi-finals, where we know we will be playing either Chelsea, of course, who beat us in the Champions League final, or Real Madrid, who of course beat us in the Champions League semi-final. So, revenge is on the cards, gents. This is what we wanted. We wanted revenge, didn't we?
Unless you add Bayern Munich to that list first.
Yeah.
No, we're at the semi-final in our heads right now. Do you have a preference?
At this point, I want Real Madrid. At this point, you're in for a penny for a pound kind of thing. I don't want Chelsea. Chelsea's just dull. As we were saying before, Chelsea's not a game that I would look forward to ever. If you beat Bayern Munich, the blood is pumping, you're excited, you feel like you can do it then at that point. So yeah, bring on Real Madrid because it's the symmetry as well of the semi-finals again, and would we be at home? We would be, yes, it'd be, yeah. So that'd be absolutely crucial for me. Yeah, I'd want Madrid at this point because I feel like the momentum shift that hopefully. Who knows where we'll be in the league at that point as well. Things could have gone our way massively, and we could be flying. And I think the form is getting slowly better as well. And the City side is starting to believe. And if the form carries on the way we're going, and if we beat Bayern Munich, I think we'll be flying by the time we play Madrid. Fingers crossed.
Okay, I like it. I'm quite feeling this now, this idea of getting Real Madrid in the semi-final, Nedum, because I feel like we'll be at home in the second leg. If we'd have been at home in the second leg last year, I feel like what happened would not have happened because we are so phenomenal at home. Yeah,
I didn't even realise how phenomenal it was until I got the stats sent through the other day, and it's just it's obscene. I think it's 20 wins out of 22 or something like that. We're unbeaten at home in something like 5 or 6 years in the Champions League. Yeah, it's subtly a fortress. Doesn't necessarily always feel like that, but it certainly is kind of that. So I think
it's the home leg, of course.
Yeah,
last year.
I think any tie where you can have the second leg at home is going to be key because I think throughout most of our lifetimes watching, say, Champions League football, you've known that's made a difference. Yeah. In terms of teams having comebacks or teams being able to maintain a lead.
Away goals gone as well now.
Yeah.
So there's no anxiety about away goals in the second leg.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're in the last rounds of the Champions League, you'd fancy your side to be able to win at home. They wouldn't have arrived in that situation without having that ability to do so. So, it's optimistic. Obviously, the Bayern Munich games are huge, but what a Champions League night that could be if for some reason everything falls in line. You're playing Real Madrid in the semi-finals, second leg, knowing that if you win this game, you get a chance to go to the final. To potentially meet, half of the Italian Serie A or Benfica. Exactly, yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm getting into this route now, and some good news to make if you want to feel a little bit better, perhaps about drawing Real Madrid, David, is they were beaten by RB Leipzig in the group stages.
Yeah. Well, this is it. It is just a cup competition, and these moments happen in these games. We look at. City last season, over the 2 legs against Real Madrid, were comfortably, I thought, the better team. You have a moment at the end of the second leg where things just go wrong in, 90 seconds or so, less than that, and suddenly you're up against it. And that whole mood change for extra time was because of how that game ended. So going forward, you look at, starting off with Bayern Munich, you've got a team there that are very tough. But if the moments go City's way, as they have been doing so far this season in the Champions League, then who's not to say that actually we look back at that 2 legs and go, well, City dealt with that quite comfortably, and then you draw. Say it's Real Madrid in the semi-finals. The difference this time, as Nedum says, could simply be that the second leg is at home. That you don't have the prospect to go into the Bernabeu in the second leg. Deal with that first leg first. Get a decent result. You don't even need to win that first leg. You can you could come out there with a draw. You come out there with a narrow defeat
right now if you gave it me, David.
You come back to the Etihad. City have their moments here.
And don't forget, if you would like to be at that quarter-final game against Bayern Munich at the home leg, we're giving away 2 hospitality tickets. You just need to WhatsApp us. We were asking, who do you want to draw and what did you think? But I'm going to change it now to, what do you think of the draw? Let us know and we'll be giving 2 tickets away. It feels like the crowd in those games are going to be so important. We talk about that Bernabeu game in the second leg. I was in the stadium, Stephen, and the atmosphere inside that stadium was something like I've never experienced. Even with minutes to go when they were losing, their fans still had the belief that they were going to win. So the atmosphere in these games at home is going to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's years of experience there from the Real Madrid fans as well, the Bernabeu, and I guess maybe they knew that's what they had to do. They had to be there because their team needed them. And I do think we are getting more and more of those nights in the Champions League. I mean, even though we've been on the wrong side of it a few times, like the Spurs game, and the Monaco game, and obviously the Real Madrid games, they are iconic Champions League nights. They are absolutely huge, and they are very much they're very memorable, and I think they start to feed into how we feel as fans about the competition too. And I do think it will be electric at the Etihad. It'll be absolutely, everyone will be up for it because it will feed back into it. I do think City as well, as just a fan, we were for so long, given how old we are as fans, we were the underdogs for a long time. And I think there's the sense of being the underdog. For me, I prefer that as well. I do prefer that. And there will be that sense if we play Real Madrid, and even Madrid, Bayern at home as well. There'll be a sense that we're the underdog, and we'll feel that, and I think we'll sense it, and I think it'll reflect in the game at the Etihad as well. So I think it makes it spicier.
We are favourites for the competition, though.
We'll ignore that,
In our heads, we love being the underdogs. I always.
But we still are. When we're playing Bayern and Madrid, we are still underdogs. We haven't won it yet. So
yeah, I know, but
whatever the bookies say, I think it's irrelevant.
The bookies are not idiots. They're favourites for a reason.
Well, we've not won it yet, so they've got it wrong so far, haven't they? So I wish they wouldn't.
Okay, thank you for all your messages as well. Loads of questions coming through, loads of messages coming through on WhatsApp. I will try and get through some of the questions in a minute. I just want to hear from the fan wall again. Underdogs. Who likes feeling like they're the underdog? Thumbs up, yes. Okay, right. I'm going to go to Steve because Steve wasn't looking sure there. Steve, what do you're not too keen on being the underdogs, or do you prefer going in feeling more dominant?
Listen, I go on a lot of shows with different fans, and if I went on trying to pretend to be the underdog, they'd kill me because we're Manchester City now, we're a different animal. But I get what they're saying regarding European heritage and things like that. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, they've been there before. We've got the T-shirt and we haven't. But like Mooney said, the bookies, they got us favourite again. We're a good side. I think Bayern Munich fans now will be a little bit worried that they've drawn Manchester City, especially after the Leipzig demolition the other night. So I'm happy. I'm happy with the draw. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, these European big nights on the big stage, Bayern Munich, one of the biggest names. If you can get past them onto a semi-final against Real Madrid, second leg at home, big night at the Etihad, it's set up nicely for us.
Set up nicely. I like that, Steve. FG and Daps, Sarah, were any of you at the Real Madrid second leg game? Thumbs up if you were at the game. Okay, let's go to Daps. Daps, what did you make of that second leg last year in terms of the atmosphere? Do you want the revenge on them?
Listen, that song they play every time they score still echoes around in my head. I've never felt anything like it. When they scored their first, their second and their third, and then they play that song straight afterwards. And I remember just looking at Steve thinking, is this really happening? Is this... Because look, we all went there confident, didn't we? After that first leg, I remember in Madrid, we'd been in Madrid, 3-4 weeks before for Atletico. We were all confident, and then just like that. But here's the thing, you've spoken it already. Everyone talks about the Bernabeu. Everyone talks about Anfield. This is Anfield, yeah? Nothing like Anfield on a European night. The fact is, the Etihad on a European night, Is it? Bayern, Dortmund, we've done what? PSG, we've done multiple times. So I think to have Real Madrid or Chelsea, to be fair, at the Etihad for the second leg, that is it. That is it. Because if we beat Real Madrid at the Etihad, I promise you we're winning the Champions League. I promise you. We need these nights. Beat Bayern, beat Real Madrid at the Etihad, and the Champions League is ours.
Daps, you've got such a great point. The Etihad on a European night is as good as it gets. I'm totally with you. The atmosphere is insane. It is, yes. Now, I just feel like we should just quickly say that Real Madrid have not beaten Chelsea yet. Let's go to Sarah.
Yeah, exactly.
We've not forgotten if there is any Chelsea fans watching. Sarah, are you, let's say something happens and Chelsea beat Real Madrid. How would you feel about playing Chelsea in the semi-final?
I don't think I love Chelsea more than anybody else here. But I think I would feel really confident playing Chelsea. Obviously, it's just like a completely different kettle of fish when you're playing another English team. Maybe it's less exciting, but I think having the second leg at home is really crucial. And I think we can step up to that.
Yeah, and of course, Chelsea have won the Champions League. They know what it takes. Do you think that mentality would go in their favour?
It might do. I think we also have revenge on the cards there too. So hopefully that mentality can go in our favour.
OK, right. We're going to go to FG now. Nedum, do you want to ask your mate a question about the draw?
No, I'm sick of him. You take it.
Right, FG, you've heard what everybody's been saying. So, underdogs or not, in going to Real Madrid, atmosphere at the Etihad, Chelsea still might be in it. What are you making of what everyone's saying?
I think if people want to call us the underdogs, that's fine, because you can never write off the group of players we have. I think even the last Champions League game, we've had people talking about Haaland, even De Bruyne, even Pep said something a little bit about De Bruyne. You can't write these players off. So if they've got a reason, I like the idea of playing a team that's hurt us in this competition before. So obviously Chelsea was a bad one in the final and Real Madrid. So if we do get to that semi-final, and of course being home, like Dap said, at the Etihad, I'm warming to the idea a little bit more.
I think we're all kind of talking ourselves into it when we start to vocalise, like you say, how good the players are, how great the atmosphere is. I feel like we're all starting to warm, and the belief that we can do it is growing and growing.
Yeah, I think so. I think the thing is we have to beat the best to win this competition, and we've been knocked out of this competition in recent years at this stage by the lesser sort of teams. So again, going back to what Dap said earlier on, playing the best is probably it's very unlikely that Man City won't turn up for this game. They'll be up for it. They know how important the Champions League is, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much to all of our fans on the wall. Right, what I'm going to ask you all to do now is try and remove your City bias, which I know is quite difficult, and I want to have a little think now. Who do you think is favourite in the competition after the draw? We know all the routes to the final for everybody now. Who is the favourites in the competition, in your opinion?
That's interesting, because if you just present the 8 teams as they are, you'd go, well, Real Madrid are one of the teams. Weird things happen when Real Madrid play in the Champions League. They win games that they shouldn't win. But of the route, they've got a hard route as well. Yeah. We expect them to beat Chelsea, but Chelsea are no mugs. We could be talking about Chelsea in the semi-final instead, and Chelsea should have beaten them last season. And then, they face City or Bayern Munich, who could quite easily knock them out. They haven't got a simple route to the final. So my gut instinct is to still say Real Madrid. Obviously, I would like it to be City, but my gut instinct is to still say Real Madrid. But they won't have it. They won't necessarily have an easy route there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at it in totality, and I think we mentioned before the odds. Those were the odds before the draw.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested to see if people still have City down as the favourites now that they know that they're going up against Bayern, and then potentially would have Chelsea or Real in that second game. But one thing I think is interesting, the dark horses for it in Napoli. Yeah. They're now potentially having to play 2 domestic sides, and they're like a million points
better than them as well.
Exactly.
So, yeah, they've got route, haven't they?
But then what they don't have is the history, because they've not won it. So that maybe they'll succumb to some of that pressure. But I can see their route to the final more clearly than the other side of the draw. And, it doesn't mean that it's going to work out that way.
Well, the other side of the draw, you feel like any deflection could change. That one moment like that could just
Napoli,
change the tie. Yeah.
If you look at Napoli, the two sides of Milan and Benfica, Napoli are the side who, European-wise, have been spoken about more this season. So they're like the number one ranked team out of those four. It's almost like guaranteed. Whereas you look at the other side of the draw and you're looking at Bayern's, looking at City's, looking at Real Madrid, and then like Chelsea, you've got history.
Any of them.
Like anything could go from there, but it seems more clear on the other side. So I don't know. City might be slight favourites, but it's ever so slight because there's going to be 3 or 4 teams just in the same sort of position, basically.
I'm giving it Napoli.
And City's side of the draw, like it could just be defined on whether when the ball hits the post, whether it goes that way or that way.
Or handball that the guy wasn't even aware of.
Yeah.
We'll have another one of those, please.
Or as well, interestingly, domestically, because say for Bayern, they're not miles ahead in their league situation. You've got Real Madrid who are chasing Barcelona, City are in a race as well. Whereas on the other side, Napoli, they would have won the league.
Napoli are 18 points clear of Inter and 20 points clear of AC.
So they've likely won the league before those games are.
Is that not harder for them though, because of the whole keeping fit and focused and so on? Like Pep, I remember when we were romping into the league as well. Pep always wanted to play a strong team and. In the games that we won the league because he wanted the players to be fit and focused and ready and sharp and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be hard for him.
The year that we made the final, we had won the league quite comfortably. But the year last season, we were in a real race and probably should have made the final.
And we were better, I think.
Better over the 2 legs. So, does it have that much?
I think it's interesting. I think Benfica will be a side that'll get slept on quite a bit because they're doing well domestically as well. But I think from the sort of Italian side, Napoli over 2 legs against AC or Inter, you'd fancy them. Like one of those, Napoli, I think they've lost 2 games all season.
Yeah.
Like the 18-point gap.
Very lightning in the bottle side, aren't they?
Yeah,
exactly.
And they've only drawn 2 as well. They've won 22 of their 26 league games.
So you'd fancy them across 2 legs against the side domestically and so on. But then it'll be interesting to see if Benfica get through because then in semi-final, that's a different sort of matchup. But if it's like an Italian team and another Italian team, then...
Napoli will be very excited right now, Napoli, because they'll feel like they can get to the final. And once there, they're going to play a team that's beaten some very good teams who could feel like the expectation is then on them. If any of Bayern, City, Chelsea, Madrid get to the final, they will be favourites against Napoli if they get there. And that's a lot of expectation, and Napoli have nothing to lose then.
Again, though, it's one game, the final.
Exactly. That to me is
the
what
two-legged,
makes it exciting for
the
Napoli.
two-leggedness of the knockouts kind of the favourite has a little bit more in their control.
Yeah.
90 minutes.
The final, Napoli.
If something goes wrong in 90 minutes, if you've got a second leg to counteract that.
All right, I'll be completely transparent. I hate that draw. I'm so nervous now. Physically sick because I know they can do it. But I just know it's just going to be an absolute grind for the next, potentially 5 games.
Horrible games.
Yeah, it's
horrible.
It's horrendous.
Or we're incredible, joyous best of our lives.
We're in this competition to play these sorts of
games. You enjoy it always.
You used to seeing City have 60-70% possession in a game. All of a sudden, here are 4 games where you don't even know what that's going to look like.
I love it. As soon as that music kicks in, I'll love it. But the anticipation, that's the bit.
Oh, and we're a few weeks away, so the first leg will be the 11th or the 12th of April. The fixtures should be out soon, obviously, once they work it all out. The second leg, the 18th or the 19th. By the way, as well, Napoli have never won the Champions League, so I do like the idea of a Napoli-City final, new team winning the Champions League. So, you've been sending in loads and loads of questions and comments on WhatsApp. Thank you so much. I'm going to try and rattle through a few of them now, so nice, quick, sharp answers, please. I know that might be difficult for us all. Right, Fraz has asked, are the fans confident in beating Bayern? Are you confident?
Hopeful.
Yeah.
Yes.
75%, yeah.
Okay, I like that. Okay, then we've got Jack has said, please can you ask Nedum who he would love to play alongside most in this current City team?
Erling Haaland.
That's only so he doesn't have to mark him.
Yeah, exactly. This is my team. I can relax, yeah.
Getting loads and loads of your comments.
For once as well, probably. Maybe.
Relax, my friend.
Relax. Loads of your comments coming in. Thank you so much. I love it. Tharbo said, we got this. We're going straight to Istanbul. Shakir has said, we will play Bayern Munich. I expect we'll win at home and away. Yes, Shakir, you sent that 24 minutes ago, so you predicted that. Juan says, City will be the next winners of the Champions League. I believe it. Gary H is saying Bayern Munich will be class. So just whizzing down to a question. Okay, SDV. My name is Kevin. I'm from Austria. Hi, Kevin. Who do you guys think will be player of the tournament besides Haaland?
Oh, it is going to be Haaland. That's the thing. No,
I think it depends how it finishes.
Yeah.
It always depends how it
Whoever
finishes.
wins it, you know.
Yeah, someone will
win it. Benzema.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you can't have player of the tournament from somebody who got knocked out in this round, can you? It's like what impact have they had in the tournament? Haaland.
Maybe he's asking who do you think is going to get to the final.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and I can't commit to that. I can't.
We're just going to say Haaland.
Yeah,
Sorry, we're going to
just assume Haaland until otherwise.
A safe bet is
So,
Modric if it's not us, you know. There you go.
Safe. Marvin has asked, can Cancelo play against City? Yes, Marvin, Cancelo can play against City. Harrison says, cute reunion with Cancelo and Sane. Oh, cute, Harrison. Cute. I like the way you've described that. Very nice. OK, let's whiz down any more questions. Loads of comments. Thank you, everybody. Glyn says, happy with the Bayern Munich draw. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be a great match. Forat says, hey, it's Forat from the Berlin Supporters Club. Hi there, nice to see you. And of course, you'll know our Sarah then, who's been on our fan wall today, Forat. He says, I love to play Bayern next. We are winning against Bayern and knocking Chelsea out in the semis. OK, Forat. And we wait for Napoli in Istanbul. All blue Istanbul final. We got it. Come on, City. Sarah, send Forat our love as well. Tell him we say hello to him. Hope you all have a great tip. And thank you. Thanks so much, Big Steve, FG, DAP, Sarah. Thank you for joining us on the fan wall today. Feel free to go off now and do perhaps your real reaction to the draw in private. But thank you. We'll see you all soon. Thank you so much.
You know what's nice?
That was ace.
You will be wearing that shirt if you get to the final, and I like that. You know, the one at
home
the pace.
team.
Did we wear the away kit against Chelsea? I can't remember.
Well,
blanked it from my mind.
Might have been, yeah.
But
home shirt. Yeah, it should be home. We drew home, so home shirt. That's a great point.
And obviously it's tribute to Colin the King, isn't it, as well? So like, if you get there, if Napoli get there, they got to wear their away kit. I want. If you win the Champions League, I want to be wearing blue. I want to be wearing blue. So.
OK. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you very much for joining us, Nedum, to David and to Stephen. And thank you to all of our fans that joined us as well. Thank you for watching our Champions League live draw show. Of course, Matchday Live will be back tomorrow, back to normal business. Normal business resumes tomorrow for us. Kel will be here as City take on Burnley in the FA Cup. He'll be joined by Sean Wright-Phillips, Jolien Lescott and David James, a Goliath of a panel for that big game tomorrow, because of course we will be welcoming back a true bona fide Manchester City legend as Burnley's manager Vincent Kompany returns to the Etihad. So join us on Matchday Live tomorrow from about 4:40 tomorrow. You'll get that. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nedum. And thank you very, very much to all of you for joining us. We know who our opponents are in the quarterfinals. We know who to expect in the semi. And now we have an idea of who we might meet should we get to Istanbul. June the 10th, Blues. Get it in your diary. We'll see you soon.
The Blues have cruised really into the FA Cup quarter-finals. And that is a quite sensational free kick.
Ake trying to place it, he's placed it beautifully.
Majestically done by Kevin De Bruyne.
You roll on, well done.
Yeah, no, thank you. Is there any draw you're looking out for in particular?
Quarter-final games coming up include Man City taking on Burnley, managed of course by Vincent Kompany, who spent 11 years there collecting all sorts of trophies.
The trophy remains special, you know, it's the oldest cup competition. There is like an intangible glory almost attached to the trophy. Still, it's a special cup to hold between your hands.
Quarterfinals for the FA Cup, incredible chance to reach again semi-final FA Cup at Wembley, so a big chance, and we'll try to compete against Vinny and his team.